something we wanted to start doing, and we probably should have started doing this 7 months ago. Believe it or not, 7 months we've been in this RV. Is some pillow talks with you guys.
Nothing's gonna stop us, nothing's gonna top this, nothing like we've ever seen. And I raise my hands to the sky, what a feeling, 'cause I feel like dancing high, got a feeling, time to feel it, this is where it all begins.
To talk about what it's like to live in an RV. I mean, if you're watching this channel and you're new, I'm sure you want to have some insight as to what it's like from a couple who's rented how many different places? 6 different places over a period of how many years?
5.
5 years. We've also owned a house. And what it's like to go from a house to different rentals to now this small square footage of space. So we're going to call this Pillow Talk. And
so do I need to have a pillow to do Pillow Talk?
Oh, if you want it.
I have our handy dandy blanket. Which, how cute is this blanket, guys? Do you see what's on it? Little campers. My mom found this fabric for us and made us a blanket, made both the kids a blanket for Christmas.
And our pillows.
And she took our throw pillows that were for the bed, but we put them on the little sofa out there. And made slips for them. So this pattern is all over our RV now. So, thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom. What's it like living in the RV, Ellen? 7 months in.
It doesn't seem like it's been that long,
yeah.
But yet it seems like we've been there for a while. It seems like we have, it seems like the norm now. Like, it honestly seems weird when I think about, like, houses, when I see houses for sale, to think of, like, all that, I mean, one day I'll have a house again, but all that wasted space, you know? Like,
yeah.
As much as we want some more space, I don't know, now it just seems... You have this is where you live, and then if you are feeling cramped, go take a walk, get outside.
I mean, the only thing I would say I'm missing out on is now that we have a dog, I wish we had more space, like a privately fenced yard that we can just let him loose, because he's very energetic. Let's just say it's like coming home to a newborn.
We'll
forgot that feeling.
We can put some clips in here of him. And some pictures, but maybe we'll have to make an introduction video for him.
Well, he's in our introduction video.
I mean, that video actually, like, talking about him and that process and telling that story, but that's for another night.
Well, our space just got reduced probably about a month ago, because we brought in his cage.
Yes, for now, until he doesn't need it. But for now, he needs it. But
it's kind of sitting in front of our couch, and it's occupying that space, and anytime we want to pull the couch out and watch a movie with the kids, or...
Yeah, slide it over to the kitchen.
Slide it over to the kitchen, so it...
But that's temporary. That's temporary.
But besides that, I don't feel like I'm missing out on too much. One of my favorite things, and I do this quite often, actually, when you're sleeping... I'll just, it's dark outside, and I'll look out, and I'll be like, this is ours.
Still, my favorite thing is when it rains.
She just doesn't like the hurricane force winds.
Well, no, it's not the winds, it's the tornado watches that come with them.
Oh.
For some reason, Michael and Aiden like to talk about tornadoes and twisters and like a little fascination of theirs.
Like, the other night we had a storm here.
We were under tornado watch, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And yeah, it wasn't the wind. I mean, it was kind of weird. Like, you mean the wind was definitely shaking, but it was just the concept of trying to sleep at night. And why do watches always come at nighttime? Like when you're trying to sleep? Is it like the temperature of nighttime? It's like if it came during the day, it would have been fine. I was awake, you know, whatever. I would have been like watching the storm. But it came at night when you're trying to sleep, and he had just had a allergic reaction to a food that night. So you had taken Benadryl and were out cold. So I felt like obligated. Plus, you wouldn't wake up for anything anyway. I felt obligated to stay awake. So in case anything happened, at least one of us
hey, the tornado could have picked me up, and I would not have felt it. I was gone.
Which is you most nights, so Benadryl just makes you even more gone. But no, I still love, because in a house you hear rain, but there's just something about rain on a camper roof, on an RV roof, on a tent roof.
It's much louder.
It is, but it's therapeutic. I love it. I personally love it. So, and it's coming into the rainy season here soon, and tonight we're supposed to get some rain.
But I love at nighttime when everyone's sleeping, I'll look out, keep all the doors open for air circulation, and I'll say that this is ours. This is something we own.
And
I've accepted the life that we're in. It's really not as hard as people tend to make it out to be.
It's just scary because it's different.
Right.
So, but different's okay. Different can be okay.
Right.
Different's just different.
We've had a great experience. This is a Grand Design RV. And remember when we bought the RV, they told us that Grand Design stands behind their products, and they're always there to back you, and they're always there to support us. And from day one, when our awning collapsed, Grand Design stepped in and they replaced it. We just recently had one of our blinds go, and they shipped us out a new blind, free of charge.
No questions asked.
No question asked.
Mailed it right to us.
Mailed it right directly to us.
The camera's actually sitting on the box right now.
And we have not installed it yet, but Grand Design really has, for us,
the fact that they reply to the emails, that they call you back, that they're there, you can actually reach them, and they respond positively.
We've been running our propane. We actually were able, from the time we picked up our unit, which was fully loaded with propane, to January, we were able to go for 6 months. Yeah. All of 6 months on just 2 propane tanks. We didn't use our heat. We didn't need it during that time. It really just got started getting cold in February.
And we've done most of our dinner cooking on a grill.
And most of our dinner is on a grill. We rarely use the propane, and yet we've been able to go 6 months on 2 25-gallon tanks, so essentially 50 gallons.
Yeah. Which only costs $15 each to refill here.
That's right.
So it's cost us $30 in propane.
So, what I will say is, I think the one thing that we have taken away is that propane... Well, so when it is cold, we do run our space heaters, and we found that just our electric bill has just been kind of high, so we said, alright, well, for $30 a month, we'll just try the propane thing out. Well, propane seems to last. If you run it all night, whether it's on and off
goes down quick.
switch, it goes down quick. I mean, we're talking like 3 or 4 days, and our tanks are empty.
I think by next winter we just need to get a different space heater, because the one that we have, it was just kind of one of those, I don't know how much we'll need it, so we'll just get like the basic one for now.
Small.
No, we got one that doesn't have a thermostat. Like, it doesn't take a break. It just runs constantly. So even if you put it on low fan, like,
I
it doesn't
disagree with
it doesn't cycle itself.
It does cycle. It turns off.
Not the little black one.
Yes.
No.
It turns off and it turns on.
I've never heard of it.
I've heard, Ellen, when you're at work and I hear that thing running, it does turn on and off.
The little black heater?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, there's some that do it better. Like, they get to with temperature, and
well,
then, like,
I
you can
think
set
if
a
we
temperature.
had a bigger unit, maybe a medium size, maybe a step up from that one, it would heat it and then turn off a lot quicker instead of running.
It wouldn't have to run as long.
It wouldn't have to run as long, yeah. So definitely
we're still learning. First winter, if you can call it that in Florida.
Well,
I think we hit 30. I think we hit the 30s once. I think we actually did touch 39.
I did. I actually had ice on my windows.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
But it definitely wasn't as cold as last winter. So I guess it was a good start. It was a good, decent winter in an RV for Floridians.
But let's get back to the whole RV experience overall, I mean, I'm happy. I'm excited. I don't feel like I am missing stuff. I mean, Ellen and I have gone back to La Mesa last week, and we started looking at different RVs, and I think the longer we stay in this RV, because we were thinking about upgrading, but I think the longer we stay in here, we're going to just continue to learn what works, what doesn't work, what will be better for our next RV in the future, and so forth.
And I think, if nothing else, there were a couple RV shows recently and things like that, so we're like, well, let's look around, you know, hey, it took us 3 years to find our first RV, let's start our homework for the next one. I'd say, though, we found lots of things that we liked, but I don't think that either of us walked into another single RV and said, this is our next one. Like,
well,
I think we were like, well, this one has this, but it doesn't have this that we have, or this one has this, but it doesn't really have this.
We liked the one with the kids' room and the bathroom in the back with a door that looked like an emergency escape.
Yes, but then that one didn't have as much storage.
Yeah,
so it was kind of, it's again, with, you know, when you have kids in the RV, that's one of the biggest things is you're getting those extra beds, but you're losing storage. Even though you have more people, you have less cabinets.
So let's talk about the storage, because those of you who are probably looking, or if you're using this video as a way to just try and understand what it's like to live in an RV, we bought this based off of us walking into a model like this and saying that this is the type of design we wanted. Mm-hmm. And we got rid of a lot of junk, a lot of stuff just to make this a reality. But it's just like anything else. When you have a house, you get a big house, what do? You fill it with stuff. And it's anything like that, it's just like the RV. You come in here and come in with not a lot of stuff, and then slowly it starts adding up.
And you realize, oh, we have a little more room for this. Oh.
I mean, I yelled at Ellen today. She went shopping today after we went shopping already. She went to
that's consumable.
Okay, but the point
is
we don't have storage for it, so now our counters are flooded with fruit. I mean, that's not a bad
Strawberries,
thing.
grapes were on sale, man. The strawberries and grapes were on sale. Strawberries. I got 4 of them.
Sprouts. Check out Sprouts. We're not going to talk about this. But, okay. But overall,
I've gone in 2 days.
I think the one thing I probably regret is not getting something with more storage. I don't like stuff out. I grew up in a household where things had to be put away. My mother left nothing on the counters.
I think it would be different too also if we were already, or when we are actually full-time traveling. Now right now we're not traveling. Yes, we are full-time RVers. Right now we're in our first season where we are still both employed here in Central Florida. We are not traveling as much. Right now it's more of us sharing life, sharing what it's like to live in an RV, learning experiences. We're kind of breaking everything in here.
I mean, I kind of just titled Season 1, The Adventure Begins.
Right. So this is the beginning season. You know, later on in our next step, this is Phase 1. This was us being detached from apartment leases, buying a house we weren't ready for, but just because we felt like we had to get a house because we didn't want to rent. This is us detaching from that, giving us our own space to be ours, and then getting ready to prepare for the next step, which we are still doing.
As we take those small trips here and there, with my time off, it does. You start to get that itch to want to travel more, and we definitely want to travel more.
Every trip we take, I think we just want to come home and quit our jobs and just go. But it's like we're not ready yet. But
we're getting there, though.
So with space-wise, I think right now we're at the risk of being settled. If we were moving more, everything would have to be put away constantly because you're moving, and I think that would force us to carry less. We wouldn't shop for a week's groceries. We would shop for that couple days in that town because you don't want to carry all the extra weight of groceries, you know, risk your fridge and right. You don't want all that stuff in your refrigerator and your cabinets. You don't want all that stuff banging around in there. We wouldn't keep as much stuff for one location because we wouldn't need that. So I think it's different for the season that we're in of not full-time traveling in our RV, but living. So I think that's kind of...
Would you say you're happy?
Yeah. I would say I'm happy.
Yeah.
I mean, life is life, and it still has its struggles, but you're going to have those struggles no matter where you live. I mean, I still have him no matter if I live in a house, an apartment, Florida, Tennessee, Hawaii, I don't care. Life is what you make it where you make it. So we chose to make it in an RV, and the RV is not a problem for us. I don't think it creates problems.
Right.
It might bring you closer to them so that you have to work through them more. But I mean, the kids love their room. I don't think I've heard the kids complain.
They're always excited when they meet someone, or they're telling someone about the RV. We have bunks.
They love. And they tell everybody, we live in an RV and we have bunk beds. They still, 7 months and it's still, they love their bunk beds. They love riding in the truck, because we have the truck, and they love that, and they love going around the campground pointing out different RVs. Our 5-year-old will be driving down the street and she'll be like, oh, there's a toy hauler. Oh, there's a Class A. Oh, that one's a Class. Oh, that's a little Class B. Our 5-year-old knows the different types of RVs. And it's just because it just opens up a whole new world. And that's the fun part. And that's just the first step. Now, as we travel, as we grow more, as they get older, new adventures, new experiences. But I think for now, even in just meeting the people here at the campground, it's snowbird season, as we call it in Florida here, and we're meeting, our neighbors behind us here. They're an old couple from Ontario, and they have their 2 little yiper dogs, is what I call them. And they're just the sweetest things. They've learned our names and the kids' names on their first day. They've been here a few months now, and everyone is just the morale of it, the community that you have here.
Let's kind of talk about season 2 coming up. What we're hoping to do is, obviously, every month for the remainder of season 1, we're hoping to just do these pillow talks and just have some genuine conversations to whomever's watching. If you're new and you're trying to connect with our story, or you're trying to find your inner adventure, or you just want some advice as to what it's like before you physically jump into the mix of living in an RV.
Yeah.
It definitely has its ups and downs, but
and maybe you've had those people in your life saying, oh, don't do that, that's crazy, it's not going to work out, you can't do it with kids, with dog, with a job, with a ... So come listen to some other people that are actually doing it. Don't listen to people that aren't doing it.
Right.
Don't take advice from people who haven't tried it.
Remember, our greatest
don't
enemy is ourselves and the roadblocks. I was saying this today.
And why would you take advice from someone who has no clue what they're talking about?
Right.
So no offense to any family or friends or anybody that might be, with you with this, but make your decisions and take advice from people who have walked that road before you. We did that for the last few years. We have been watching and learning from so many families, people with kids, people without kids, people with pets, people with every type of different travel trailer or RV.
So I want to say, with that, in the comments below, if you got questions, ask us questions. Let's engage. Let's help you take your next steps. We've been in this RV for 7 months. We love it. I don't have a single bad thing to really say about it. The only thing I have bad to say is my truck keeps breaking, but it forces me to keep learning how to fix it.
But so far they've not been anything like
major,
life-threatening for the truck.
Knock on wood if that's real wood. But yeah, definitely put your stuff down in the comments below, and we'll do our best to help you. Another great way for you to connect with us is on our Patreon account. Now, we have not had anyone yet sponsor us on our Patreon account, so I'm going to throw this extended invite out. If you'd like to support us and support the growth of our channel and help us to take bigger steps towards achieving our goals so that we can deliver more great content to you, definitely check out our Patreon account.
And there may or may not be a special extra gift to the first 20 sponsors.
First 20?
Fair to say.
Okay.
Fair to say.
We're open.
May or may not be,
We really want that community, and we try to do it on YouTube. We're going to try to do it on our Patreon account, but definitely go check out our Patreon page. And
maybe you're someone who wants to learn about RVing and you want to follow us. Awesome. Great. We'll share what we've learned. maybe you're someone who's been doing this way longer than us. You look at us and you're going 7 months. Pfft, that's nothing. Comment. Join us. Join our community. Share information with us. We will gladly take in every bit of advice we can get. So that's what it's about. We want community. We want to learn from others that have gone before us, and we want to share for those that are coming behind us.
Right.
And we want to walk alongside of people in the same bracket. You know, just that's the whole concept of it.
What would we say? So, when we tell our kids to try something new, what are they doing? They're opening up.
Tell them to make their world bigger.
Make their world bigger. So for each person that joins Patreon or joins our channel here on YouTube, you're helping make our picture bigger. And the bigger we can get it, the more content we can deliver to you. The more we can travel, the more destinations we can share with you, and hopefully get you encouraged. I mean, for us, for me, following people on YouTube was where it all started.
Yeah.
We started following Norp and South. I'll put links to their channels in the description below. We found KYD, Keep Your Daydream, and they really just helped us really.
They're like a giant tutorial, but they're
step.
Yeah.
That leap of faith. You're gonna always have people throwing words at you, and everyone's gonna have their own opinion, but you have to start making decisions for yourself. Do you want to change and live in the weird side of things instead of the normal? And the normal is, according to my sister-in-law, and I love my sister-in-law, and she wrote us a really nice message after we got back from our Pensacola trip. But she said something about, we're not living the normal, typical American white picket fence dream, and we're not. We don't have a house. We've had a house. Don't get me wrong. We have had a house. But this gives us the ability to pick up and go wherever we want, whenever we want. If I want to quit my job today, I could quit my job today and we could go somewhere. We're not tied down to a lease. So I want to encourage you, if you want to seek out your inner adventure and you want people to connect with, definitely reach out to us. We'd love to connect with you. Until the next time, give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and if you're new, subscribe, and if you want to connect with us more, go to our Patreon page. And comment down below and let us know what you want us to talk about next time, because I mean, it'll be another month in, it'll be 8 months, it'll be March. I think we'll just continue to share what we've been learning, and then if someone has a question, we can go back and answer that question. And maybe next Pillow Talk we can talk about potential season 2 locations. Oh yeah. And get your tips if you've been to any of those regions, areas, things we should or shouldn't see, things that we should calculate into our path. I definitely want you guys watching to get excited, because season 2 is going to be like no other. Season 1, all about us getting into the mix, the introduction, starting the adventure. This is the prelude. Season 2, we're going to start traveling. I mean, summer, we have so much planned for summer. We're going to try something different. So if you want to join us, you're more than welcome to rent an RV and join us. Yeah, or a hotel close by. We wouldn't stop you. But we're not stopping this year. We're going to go. We're going to find new. We're going to find us. And we're going to find our inner adventure. Yes. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. And yeah. We'll see you on the next one. I ran out of words. She was about to say subscribe, even though we already said subscribe. No, I don't remember what I was going to say. You stop it. No, it wasn't that. I don't know. I honestly just ran out of words. So, farewell.